Okay, so here we are into the final round, round four of the Great Canadian Open, and we've got a game going on between Obyiscus playing Targaryans versus Qhorin Halfhand playing his Night's Watch. So let's take a quick look. The scenario is Dance of Dragons, and looks like they have taken away the objectives. You've got the vulnerable token on the side here, max dice in the middle, and we've got healing on the opposite side. So it's actually kind of spicy. Very often these objectives don't do anything because you have to like attack and melee for them to do anything. But here we got 2 out of 3 actually have a significant effect in the game, throwing out a vulnerable token, and kind of the opposite, which is healing. So those will both be cool. And we've got max dice in the middle, which doesn't typically do much. Terrain-wise, very interestingly, we see a stake going down right in the middle, so to grab this is going to cost someone some pain, or it might be destroyed in advance, which slows you down. So Obyiscus is throwing down a wood. I imagine Obyiscus probably threw down the stake because he has Unstoppable Advance, which lets him destroy it when he wants to move onto it. And that would mean that Peter probably put down the corpse pile. Probably, not sure. So while the wood and the last piece of terrain goes down, let's take a quick look at what we're playing with here. We got Khal Drogo and Blood Riders. Rhaegal the Dragon, very popular choice due to the weaken token that Rhaegal throws out. It means that Rhaegal will take less damage on the way back. Dothraki Outriders is a very solid shooting unit. Jorah for the reroll combos. This is good, really, on both Outriders and Drogo to add a little bit of extra damage through his order, scout openings, and Freedmen, who are just a cheap little 3-point activation to bring him up to 8 total. So we've got Illyrio. We've got, he's gone for a Queen, which is what? The Unburnt Daenerys. So this one's a bit tricky to use. It gets you an extra attack for a dragon as a replace effect. Very powerful, but sometimes hard to set up. And we've got Tycho for extra healing as well. Over on Peter's side, we see he's got his super hyper elite Night's Watch, Jon in Hunters. We've got Cold Hands in Vanguard, Ranger Vanguards. We've got Watch Captain with Sword Bros, and we've got the quartet here. We've got Qhorin Halfhand, his namesake, for extra movement and the ability to freeze an opponent. This is actually very powerful to stop dragons and to maybe kill them. We got Sam and Gilly for extra cards and a bonus activation when Peter dies. And we've got Jor to make sure you've got the right cards. I was having a bit of a chat with Peter. Peter has a very interesting take on what cards you want to throw down onto Jon. So looks like Peter put down the second corpse pile, which heavily implies he put down the first corpse pile as well. They're dicing off for choice to side our first player. Obyiscus got a 4, and Peter also has a 4. We're going to re-roll. How's it going, Bogger? Sorry you couldn't get a game. Looks like they re-rolled into 5s. This is like rolling Snake Eyes twice. Not Snake Eyes. It's like rolling Snake Eyes, I should say. And looks like Peter will have option. So I'll talk about his NCUs. I'll talk about his Jor pick in a second. Let's see if he chooses side or first player. So he is out activated. So he's going to choose side? Oh no, I think he gave choice to side to Obyiscus, because why would he take the corpse ball on his own side, right? So I think Obyiscus has chosen side. He's probably going to throw down the Freedman or Jorah first. And we will see. So yeah, so Obyiscus had to choose side. He's going on his Freedman first. So yeah, I was talking about Jor. I'm a strong advocate that the first thing you want to throw down on Jor is with Jor is for the watch. And we're having a discussion about, he thinks that the best card to put down is actually Watch from the Wall. And I think he brings up a very, very valid point. The idea is that Watching the Wall is also a very good card. When you slap it down onto a unit, it gives him +1 movement. So it gives Jon's unit, which already has movement of 6, movement 7, which is very significant. But more importantly, it gets you re-rolls to your charges. It means that even a kind of chancy charge, like a 3+, which some people consider to be chancy, is very reliable now. 8 out of 9 times will make it. And his theory was, he's going to draw an opening hand of 4 cards. He's going to take the envelope at least once between rounds 1 and round 2. So he's going to draw at least 6 cards. So he's got very good odds. I think he was saying he can actually draw more cards in a certain way. Maybe it's through discarding, I'm not really sure. But at a very minimum, he's going to see 6 cards. And he's got pretty good odds to draw for the watch within those first 6, especially after thinning out his deck with his first drawer placement. So I do see his point. I think, you just have to be unlucky to have your For the Watches near the bottom of the deck. And I guess that's why I like Jor to draw that out first, is to minimize the bad luck of not drawing For the Watch right away. So we've got Freeman going down first, which is typical. Your weak unit, they need to be babysat, which is what Jorah is here for. And in response, he threw down Sword Bros down the middle. Interesting placement. I don't know if they're actually going to pick up this objective. So I'm interested to see what he does with that stake. Now, interestingly, this unit, because they have Relentless, can actually march up to this potentially and then destroy it with the Relentless attack, which is pretty cool. And after Jorah went down, he throws down Cold Hands with the Ranger Vanguard over here. I think this unit is a bit tough to use, and you're, in theory, supposed to get the most value out of them through flanking your opponent, so I think it's interesting that he places it here. He can still get some flanking attacks off because of Sentinel. Sentinel means that even though they're kind of central, a Sentinel can push them into the opponent's flank so that when they activate, they can wrap around. So, even though they're a bit central, I can see why this can still work out. So back to Obyiscus, I imagine he's going to throw down his Outriders next. Again, typical deployment here for any new players. Throw down your weak stuff first, strong stuff last. Don't give away the strength of your army yet. So throwing down the Outriders here, he's more or less avoiding the wood. That kind of makes sense. And putting himself in a position to target either of these objectives on the middle or the left flank. And then we got John going down last. Now, if I was John, I don't think I'd actually want to grab an objective, because even though you score bonus points for your commander doing so, it really hampers his movement. It brings his movement down to 2, which might take him out of the game, to be honest. If John goes on one side and picks this up, Obyiscus might just completely ignore this side and focus on the right side instead. And John will have a very hard time participating in the game, which is a big deal because this is an expensive 7-point unit. So I wonder if now that Peter may deploy him here, but not go for the objective at all. He might just turn around and head towards the middle. I wonder if Obyiscus will deploy with everything across the wood, or will he deploy across from John in an effort to try and kill John? Literally kill John, since he has Khal Drogo, who can just take off John's head with Expert Duelist. So at this point, Peter is fully deployed, and is going to wait to see what does Peter do. What does Obyiscus do? Yeah, I think Peter should go for the kill. He should not grab objectives with John in particular, and he should just use him to try and pick off his weaker stuff. The problem is, the one thing that this unit's not fantastic at is killing a 3+ save unit, which is the Blood Riders. And it's very scary. I mean, it's very scary to go after Drogo, especially because he's out-activated. Drogo will probably have at least one opportunity to attack John's unit and maybe kill John. So waiting for Obyiscus to decide his last 2 deployment drops. I don't think I've seen this. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's moving around. And let me just remember, so we got healing on this side and vulnerable on this side here. This one in the middle is max dice. In a similar vein, I think it would be wrong for Obyiscus to grab the objective with Drogo as well. Drogo is a hammer, and he does not want his movement to slow down by grabbing the objectives. So it looks like he might try to avoid John. He is deploying on the far right side, and I imagine Peter will not grab this objective and will head towards the middle too. Especially if he can attack a squishy unit like the Outriders, he might actually be able to one-shot them with a good combo. And yeah, Rhaegal's going on the far right. Looks like he's trying to avoid John. Cool. So Obyiscus chose table side, which means after they draw their cards, Peter will have option of who is first player. He's out-activated by 1 for the moment. 8 versus 7. Hey, Mickey. I wrote Wednesday for that last time zone. Yeah. Sorry, I should probably remove it. It's for any of the Australian, Singaporean crowd that might be watching it. But it is confusing. I should probably remove that. I can't help it. I'm pedantic. I don't want the Aussies to think it's the same time. I guess it's impossible. Well, I guess yeah. I'm trying to say it's not the same. I don't even know how that would work even. If I said it's 8 p.m., it would be. If I say 12 p.m., but they. How would that work? I don't even know. Brain not shooting on all cylinders right now. Okay, so it looks like Peter gave Obyiscus option on first player, which is kind of interesting. It means that he values going first round two, which makes sense, because if he goes first and opts for the typical envelope play, he will also finish first, having only 7 activations. Drogo can perfectly put himself in a position to hit something hard, and then going first round two, Obyiscus can cause him real damage. So I do think it does make sense for Peter to pass first player off, and it will give him potential to do some big damage as first player round two. So take one down in the envelope. He weakens the Ranger Vanguard, and he draws 2. Peter put down his watch down on John's unit. Very typical. On an explosive unit like that to get extra movement or get extra attack. And he looks like he's going to activate his namesake, Qhorin Halfhand, onto the horse, and I imagine this is going to be used to redeploy John towards the middle. So this unit is now going to be moving 7 inches, which is quite speedy, and they can march 14. So he can do a very deep dive into Obyiscus' line and maybe set up a potential combo attack on those Outriders. Now he went straight forward. I find that interesting. Yes, and he's angling. Yeah, so Peter knows not to grab the objective, which is good. Does not want John slowed down. All right, so let's see. Okay, so we see a cycling. We see lead by example being cycled through, which is great. I've said this often. One thing that makes Drogo so dangerous is he's got a great card, Assault Orders, but secondly, he's got 2 cards that he can use to cycle through. So used properly, Drogo can do a very, very hard turn of his deck. Sometimes those cards are powerful too, but in this case, this early, better to cycle through and look for your good stuff, like Assault Orders and Overrun. So Khaleesi goes on to the Unburnt goes on to the bag, and it's going to remove nothing. I guess he's using it to deny this unit removing their weaken token. And it's great to have Illyrio because, you typically want to do a Crown Zap now, but this is good for Peter, actually. So instead of a Crown Zap, he's just going to fish for a card from his deck. The Crown Zap would do no damage, is the problem, right? Because you can do up to 3 damage, and then Illyrio is going to replace the sword with a heal. So there's no point zapping, and it's good that he's got his own powerful replace effect to look for a card. So I'm curious when he looks. He might do what he said, which is Watcher on the Wall. Ooh, he's pulling out a sword. Nope, hold on. He's literally going through his deck. So I've seen this bug before, where you search through your deck, but the deck is not your deck. It's actually like the objective cards. So you kind of have to sometimes go through it manually. So I think, yeah, he's going for Watching the Wall. So this unit now has a monstrous movement of 8, and it can march 16 downstream. Yeah, they can just go all the way deep. And he might target these Outriders or maybe Jorah. This is quite scary to have John coming hard on the flank like this. Cool, so we predict to see Illyrio take the swords to no effect, probably tap Sam as a result, and then we'll see some significant actions with combat units. All right. So this means very, very quick now, moving 8 base. And I wonder if we're going to see Obyiscus just fade away. He's going to realize that there's no real... He should not put himself in a position where he can try and get some shots off. It's too risky. John has a huge threat range with just his shooting. He can actually move 8, shift 2, and shoot 6. So he's got a 16-inch threat with his arrows alone this round. And of course, there's the always ever-present threat of For the Watch, start of round 2. So interestingly here, Obyiscus actually is moving forward with his freedmen. I'm way more concerned with keeping them in the back, but he might move everything in front, so they would still be in the back. I think we see a Blood of the Dragon go down on Khal Drogo. I do like it. It means that he's virtually impossible to kill with panic. He's going to be suffering -2 in some panic tests, unless you've got some way of adding on wounds, such as Lannisters or Free Folk. And the extra dice goes a long way too, to make that unit hit even harder. The dragon is very vulnerable to a Qhorin Halfhand sacrifice into Swordbow's attack, so I wonder how careful will Obyiscus be with Rhaegal. So the Freemen have gone, and Peter should really tap... oh my gosh, the sword was not taken. Peter should really take the sword zone, the combat zone, and he's actually going to do the Relentless Order instead. I am interested to see why they didn't take that last zone with their NCUs. You know, you want to delay your significant moves. His angle is interesting as well. He seems to be moving towards the left. When I feel like John is going to be pushing Obyiscus into the right, it's interesting to see... Oh, maybe what Peter's doing is he's putting all his troops to the left to avoid the dragon, avoid the Blood Riders, and it's going to create like a yin-yang where you can't really see here, but we're going to see like all these kind of forces push towards the left through this corpse pile, whereas Rhaegal and Drogo will push to the right through this wood.
Right. Which would make sense as to why the overall products of what we came from, right? Nice.
So I wonder. Okay, so he cycled twice. He's gone through both lead by examples, drawn another card. So I think he's seen 7 cards. He should be down to 13. That's crazy. Round 1, and he's already gone through 7 cards. Pretty cool. All right, we still don't see him taking the tactics board. And I believe it is back to Obyiscus, right? They've each done 2 NCUs. They've each done 1 activation on the board. So it should be back to Obyiscus. Obyiscus seems to be measuring threat ranges on cold hands. This unit, I wonder if do they ignore terrain? They don't ignore terrain. I believe the other unit, the Ranger Trackers, ignore terrain. Okay, so it looks like he's activating his... either Jorah or the Outriders. And I think what he's potentially planning here is where will the Outriders be and where can Jorah be to support them. And it's interesting, he's measuring from the back corner. Okay, that's pretty cool measuring there. So Jorah's going to push forward, and it looks like he plans on putting the Outriders right in front. Which is actually scary because, again, Jon with movement 8 can be like way, way into their flank potentially. Okay, so again, they're both leaving the tactic zone open, which I find very interesting. The tactic zone can be used by both Jon for the watch or the Outriders for a shot. So I'm sure before that happens, someone's going to take it, but we'll see. Okay, so it's back to Peter. He's got all his significant activations to use on the board. He wants to save Jon for later. He wants to see where the Outriders go, and he certainly doesn't want to get shot for free if he moves forward and gets and the sword's still open. And Peter is measuring his threat range to the front, it looks like. One thing you have to be a bit careful against Targaryens is swift reposition. So even though 14 is the normal threat range, they have a threat range of 16. 16 in this case because Peter has the horse. So, ooh, very cool. So he's doing like a crisscross. So he's actually going to pick up the far left objective with his sword bros who've done a hard march down. And checking, yes, a maneuver will grab this objective. So he's abandoning the right side and kind of focusing on the left side here. So that's pretty good play. There's no way Drogo and Rhaegal will grab the objective. So if I was Obyiscus, now that Peter's kind of revealed his hand, I would activate the Outriders and just start deking to the right. You don't go in front. You don't go for the shot. You deke to the right. The shot is too risky because Jon's going to march 16 past his own unit and be in a position where he could pull a combo and he could kill them with a For the Watch play. Okay. Yeah, Tactics Board Zone is still open. I like this play from Peter. There's no point going for the center. We're going to, be exposed to so many different things. He can have this unit grab the objective, and with Relentless, they actually might get into the fight with the potential to move twice. So I wonder if Obyiscus is going to go in front, like how he was measuring, or will he move to the back? Now, if he doesn't move in front, he actually might expose Jorah. I think he is going to move in front. Wow. Okay. He's checking their threat range. Of course, that might be a feint. He may not grab the objective at all. The threat range on the Sword Bros is 11. Okay, so the 13 away. So he is in shot range. So at this point, Peter should definitely grab the sword. Yeah, so he's definitely in range for the shot. It's kind of scary. I think Jon's going to leapfrog 16 straight into these guys' faces. And he could definitely get a For the Watch combo. Alright, sword is open. Peter should definitely grab the sword of Sam. And instead, it looks like he's activating the Ranger Vanguard. This is, I don't know, I wonder, okay, so I wonder if this is a deliberate choice. I wonder if he wants to get shot, because that would give him a Watcher on the Wall free move, potentially. Yeah, I feel like they must know the sword's open, right? So why would Peter let himself get shot? It could be for a Watcher in the Wall movement, but it's only 2 inches. I don't know. Maybe he's done some pretty cool measuring, and he knows that 2 inches is going to be enough to maybe get a shot off with Jon. Okay, so it looks like Cold Hands in the Ranger Vanguard have maneuvered way over, and because they've moved 18, very often, as long as you know their extreme range, just pick them up. And we'll see. We'll see if Obyiscus takes the shot. I wonder what's the worst thing can happen. The worst thing can happen, I imagine, is a Watcher. He's out of range of scout openings from Jorah. He's going to see a shot, and I wonder if this was a bait into watching the wall. You know, it does bring this unit of archers closer, which means that when John leapfrogs over, they will definitely be in charge range. So I have to imagine this is bait. Okay, so he's getting barely in range. He edged a little bit closer, and he's going to take a shot, looks like onto the Ranger Vanguard. He's reasonably wary. He's reasonably wary of the fact that he is moving closer to the whole Night's Watch army. And this is actually a pretty cool shot, too, because it means that he doesn't get to use a Sentinel order off of Cold Hands. Sentinel allowing Cold Hands to move if something else gets shot, but not when he gets shot himself. So he's checking for Jorah's... I thought he checked and he's out of range. Yeah, so no Jorah order. And decent roll, 4 hits. So it should be just 4 saves on 5s, and then a panic test. Oh my god, he made all his saves. That is some good dice there. So now I want to see if John is going to have a second Watcher move up 2 inches towards these Outriders. That was pretty great. Or will he tap... Okay, I don't see a second Watcher come out. This has to be Watcher, right? Oh, it's a for the watch. Okay. He's playing it now. He's preloading it. Okay. It does make his hand smaller. He's now played 3 of his 5 cards. He will draw 2, which is pretty cool. He's also going down to 13 cards. Both players round 1 have gone through 7 cards, which is pretty epic. I guess he's tapping Sam, and now it's going to be Drogon, it's going to be Drogo or Rhaegal. So, yeah, I don't know what the plan was there. He got shot, he made all saves, but I really thought, A, he could have blocked the shot. I thought he did that to pop off a second Watcher in the wall. So Drogo's coming down. Drogo is going to be putting a Warcry down next turn when Rhaegal activates, I'm sure. And yeah, he's in a pretty scary position. Now, the good news for Peter is that the unit that's buffering Drogo from the rest of his army is Cold Hands. Cold Hands cannot get killed by Expert Duelist. Right. For example, so maybe the goal is to just try and tank Drogo with Cold Hands for as long as he can. So he's definitely in Warcry range. And I think we've now down to Peter's last activation. So I imagine he's going to jump 16 across. I imagine he's going to jump 16 across. The question for me is, does he clear the corpse pile? He needs a clean charge into those Outriders, into Swift Retreat Quickfire. Alright, so again, he's checking ranges. Not sure why at this point. So it looks like he's trying to maybe go around. Is he going to grab the objective? That would really slow down John. So because the mission specifically says, no matter what bonuses you might have, I can pull up the card right here. Even though he's got Watching the Wall, your speed is reduced to 2 and cannot be increased. So I feel like it would be a big mistake for Peter to grab the objective of John. Because he will just see his other 2 units slowly get whittled away and murdered by the Targaryens. Alright, so this is 10. I think 16 is going to clear the corpse block completely. Yeah, Rhaegal will not be able to charge into John. This seems pretty safe. I think you should just march through and then start off with a combo. And I learned that field control does not stop for the watch. So he can freely take the horse. And he's going around. Interesting. Is he trying... Interesting. I wonder... Does he feel nervous about going for the front? Does he not think he's going to kill the Outriders? Something I learned watching Peter play earlier is that it's actually a bit hard for Drogo to chase down this unit, because if he marches 16 across, charge, he gets to retreat to the side and then take his shots. He'll still be a good distance away from Drogo. Okay, so he's moving, the full 16, and that's going to clear the course pile. So he's going for the aggressive play. I do like this. I think if he can kill this tray, it's going to even up the activation count and really make it a very spicy, interesting game. Okay, and the next question for me is, does he have a sword? He's going to draw 2 cards. So he would have gone through, 13 cards at the end. And Obyiscus might deliver some cards too. Okay, cool. So, Jon is done, and now it's down to Rhaegal. Rhaegal, I expect, will come towards the middle, probably behind Jorah somewhere, to act as a countercharge kind of unit. Yeah, so the right side is going to be completely abandoned. The vulnerable token will be by Matt. Oh, he's recalling. He didn't like that. Okay, he's going for it. He does like it after all. He's going for it. I think it's the right play. Jon can easily just crush that unit. 5+ armor is just not good against the volume of attacks that this unit can pump out. Look at this train of cards. And he can make it even nastier by using Peter's influence when he charges in before the watch. If he's got sword, it's going to be 7, 8 for Boldness and Courage, 9 for Peter, and potentially 10 from Sword in the Darkness. If he's got Sword in the Darkness and this unit becomes vulnerable, this unit is as good as dead. 10 dice with a vulnerable token, rerolling the hit, and then 8 shots afterwards is very, very good odds just to kill them. And he'll be a whole activation up. Now, Blood of the Dragon is on Drogo, but you should still do it. You should still pop 12 wounds here and give yourself a big, big advantage. So now the question is, where does Rhaegal go? Does Rhaegal go behind Drogo, or does he go behind Jorah, where he might be able to attack a bit faster? Yeah, so wherever Rhaegal goes, prediction, they're going to draw some cards. I predict we're going to see Peter onto probably Peter onto the horse to deny extra movement to Targaryens. Field control does not stop for the watch, as I learned, because for the watch's wording is while attached, each time this unit is targeted by the horse zone. So you are still targeting this unit with the horse zone with field control, so they would actually get to still do their charge action. And Rhaegal's going super hard, super into the flank, right behind the Outriders and Drogo. And I'm really excited to see what kind of explosive round 2 start we have for the Night's Watch. This is definitely... I don't know if it's a YOLO. I think it's a smart play. I think it's a pretty good play. If he can pull this off, he'll kill a unit, not have Jon activated, and still be safe from Drogo, which is pretty cool. And then this unit's going to grab the objective, and it's going to be then on Obyiscus to get back in the game. He's put the stakes in the middle. Does he have Unstoppable Advance to grab it with a unit? And whatever unit he puts down, he's got to grab it with Drogo at the end of the day, because anything else, first of all, the Freeman can't even pick it up. But if Jorah grabs the middle, he's just going to die immediately to anything. So, yeah, it's quite scary. Now, the good news is, because everything's clustered around the middle, if Drogo does pick it up, he can still charge into combat, and he can still have an impact on the game. At that point, you're so close that even retreats and stuff may not get you out of range of Cav. So Drogo at this point can probably grab this objective. It's the max dice objective though, so it won't do Drogo too much since his attacks don't deteriorate too much. Yeah, this is very scary. I was gonna say it's very scary for Rhaegal, but the reality is Jon needs to spend all his attacks on the Outrider, so he will not get a double attack on Rhaegal, which is something that could have killed the dragon.
Right.
Can we see another card going down? Is that reposition? It is. So he's going to get a 2-inch shift. Wow, so it's very interesting that Obyiscus is using it now. He really feels that 2 inches is going to make a difference. He's going max distance across. Now, the other reason why he might be doing this is just to empty his hand. So he may not see a lot of value in that card going forward, and I can see that. Everything's already so close. So maybe he's just using it now. Maybe he's got some other crap cards in his hand, which he can discard to draw through more, right? So it's not that he's really getting a lot of value out of Swift Reposition, but just to empty his hand out makes a lot of sense too. So Rhaegal's coming down. He's like, all right, you can kill these Outriders. You can try and kill these Outriders, but, you know, Big Daddy Dragon's going to be in a position to retaliate. Okay, so round 1 should be done. Over to round 2. Big question for me, does Peter grab sword? Chucking away light. And he's going to be drawing 3 cards, so he's going to draw 3 cards. So he'll be down to 12. He would have seen the first 8 cards. Pretty impressive. You're looking for a sword. And Obyiscus did not discard anything. So, I don't know if that extra 2 inches made a difference or not. I thought he played it to empty his hand, but it looks like he's not actually playing more cards. So I guess I called that wrong. He really needed that 2 inches for some reason. I might ask him about that later. Okay, so now Peter's first, and this is where the cleverness of giving Obyiscus first player round 1 makes a lot of sense. He's actually put Jon in a very threatening position. We will definitely see a For the Watch. I think you should take the horse. The sword doesn't give a lot of value to Obyiscus, but it still has play for Jon's unit. So I'm interested to see. Peter's first activation here. So again, I feel like he should use Qhorin for the extra attack. So I'm curious that he's putting down Sam first. Now, the only reason why he may not be using Qhorin is because he may intend to sacrifice Qhorin and keep Drogon or keep Rhaegal in play in place. So yeah, I think that's the only reason why he may not have used Qhorin is to freeze Rhaegal. Okay, so we're going to see it for the watch. He's going to have a reroll to the charge due to his preloaded Watcher in the Wall, which is pretty cool. So they're good. And do we see a sword? Sword would make 9 dice and vulnerable. Still very good odds. Did he draw the sword? Whoa! Wow! That was funny. This unit went flying. Will we see a sword go down? And I imagine he's going to go on the left to just stay as far away as possible from Drogo. And do we see a sword go down? I like that he took the horse. It reduces the movement opportunities for the Targaryens. It's also their only one zone that they need. And he can still use the sword if he wants to take shots onto Rhaegal with Jon's unit. And we see a sword. Devastating. So we got the whole combo, the whole wombo combo. So we've got 9 dice, 7 from the unit, 8 for Jon, 9 for sword, 9 dice hitting on 3s, and a vulnerable token into 8 subsequent shots. So pretty good odds here just to kill the whole unit. He should probably do 7 or 8 wounds with the attacks alone. He might even do 9. And we'll see. This unit is so loaded. 4 cards already attached. Very loaded, this unit. Alright. This could be quite nasty if Qhorin Halfhand freezes Rhaegal. Got a strong first roll, 8 out of 9 hits. You got all 9s. We expect 8 wounds here. This could be very nasty damage. 8 wounds on 5s. A bit above average. Took 5 wounds so far, and he took the whole 8. Okay, so now the question is, will he take panic damage? And can the 8 shots finish off this unit? 8 shots is very close. 8 shots is very close. Panic is currently a pass. Now, it's very tempting to make him re-rolls because it's going to be max damage, but currently he only fails on the roll of a 1. He probably wants to keep it on. Obyiscus rolled middle, so it's not likely to fail. And now we're going to see a quick... I think we're going to see a... What's it called? Swift Strike? What's this thing called? Yeah, Swift Strike. So he got the full 6 into the side here. Now, Obyiscus does get a pivot, but again, the 4 shots alone might be enough to kill this unit. So even though he can retreat up to 12 inches, he needs to stay within 6 inches of these Outriders so that he can still shoot them. So yeah, the odds to hit are 2 out of 3, 4 out of 9, 32. The odds are 32 over 9, so he is actually a slight dog when it comes to killing this unit. Odds are good that he does a little around 3 wounds. He needs to roll a little bit good to kill off the unit, but he does have the panic token still on, so these 8 shots could kill this unit. Okay. And I'm wondering if this pivot gets him close enough to the... Okay, no, I don't think so. I don't think an inch will save him from the corpse pile. Yeah, I don't think he's within 6 of the... of the corpse pile. Alright, now, I did see Peter measure to the dragon. So I think there's actually a part of him that wants to shoot the dragon. And that's actually pretty clever, because this unit is already crippled. And yes, they can take the bag, but John is still not activated yet. So John can actually charge in on his own and try and finish them. I wonder if he's actually trying to get in range of the dragon. Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, so we have 8 shots. He needs to roll a little bit good, or Obyiscus needs to roll a little bit bad for these guys to die. Let's see how it goes. 8 shots. Here we go. I think these are Bartender's dice. Oh no, it's the Got Boy's dice. He rolled pretty good on his hits. So if, 6 hits, saving on 5s. We expect 4 fails, but he rolled pretty good. Can Obyiscus roll pretty good too? He does not. He does the 4 wounds. The odds disfavored him, and that unit is dead. Wow. So he's already killed an activation, and that was off a zone. That was off a zone. So he's tied up the activation count, and John is still not activated. He has spent Quickfire, but he's not yet activated. I wonder if this is a round where he sacrifices Qhorin to freeze the dragon. Okay, so that was a pretty big blow. No chance to use Tycho or Liderio there. It doesn't seem like he's sacrificing Peter or Qhorin yet. The dragon might be able to get into his flank.
Okay, so do what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know if Peter should have pivoted in a way to... He could have maybe pivoted to the left a little bit to make sure the dragon couldn't get to his flank. But I think he can do it right now. And they're checking. I think what they're checking is, can a sword give a shot? But honestly, I don't think he would take a shot anyway. He would actually use it for another For the Watch charge. So I think they're just pre-measuring. And the dragon would be out of range of a shot currently. Yeah, dragon would be barely. But again, I don't think the sword would be used for a shot. I think it'd be used for another for the watch.
Okay.
Now, that is 9 dice. You're unlikely to kill the dragon. With the 4+ save, you're unlikely to kill unless you drew the God Hand and you have your second sword, which would put down the tokens again. And if you did have that, it would be pretty much game over for Obyiscus at that point. Drogo cannot kill the entire army on his own, as good as that unit is. Okay, so I'm curious, how does Obyiscus respond? Like, he's tempted, looks like, to use his units, but he's leaving the tactics board open. Oh, and there we go. Qhorin Halfhand is going to be used to freeze the dragon. Okay, very interesting. Very, very powerful. So that's very scary because the sword is still open. This is where Gilly might come in this round to even up the activation count. And Obyiscus has no use for the sword, but the sword is so dangerous because it's another for the watch. Yeah. So it's very, very good play on Peter here. He's going to force kind of a dead activation, and that can let him draw more cards, you know. And I wonder, how is John moving? I guess they're pre-measuring, I suppose. Looks like they're pre-measuring something. So that looks like a maneuver. But don't forget, Quickfire has already been played, so he cannot get a shot after that. Yeah, it's technically Obyiscus' turn. So it's Obyiscus to act. This dragon is activated more or less because of Qhorin's influence. I think Peter is just doing a lot of pre-measuring to see threat ranges here. That's 16. That's actually kind of... Sorry, 15, 16... I may have missed something. It really feels like Peter moved, but I don't know how he moved. That horse was used for the watch. Yeah, I don't know how he got that extra move off there. Did I miss something, folks?
Really?
He did his whole swift retreat combo, killed the Outriders. He then froze Rhaegal, but then he moved again. I don't know how he got that extra move.
Oh, like you said.
I don't know how he got that extra move. Oh, I'm so silly. He got it off when he killed Qhorin. When he killed Qhorin, he used for the and now his watch is ended, and he used it for a free maneuver into the flank. Yes, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I forget that card can be used on NCUs. It's a pretty crazy combo. So we are doing a Fireblood charge. I think it was a 10, so I think it's a 4+ with a reroll. I think that was a 10. I could be mistaken. I didn't actually check. We'll see if he makes it in. And you know what's really funny? Okay, that should be a fail. What's really funny is that if Peter had pivoted, I think he could have actually blocked a front charge. That should be good. I think if Peter had pivoted, he may have been able to block a front charge from Drogo here. Now this is scary because the sword's still open, so Drogo will eat at least 2 attacks from John's unit. Now, he might have assault orders too. But the thing is, yeah, I was gonna say John won't be in combat anymore because he's going to retreat. But assault orders lets this unit charge. Okay, so it looks like Jorah is going to be popped. Now, the timing is a bit poor. He should have popped Jorah at the start. Because now that he saw the charge successful, he's kind of retroactively using Jorah's order. But you know, we're being a bit friendly here and saying, listen, I was committed to the charge. I was going to try and kill you. You know, so a bit of mistiming there, but no, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay, he should be going for the kill on John, I imagine. So we might see a separate dice being rolled here. And I do believe you have to decide this before you roll your attack dice. Right? Yeah, he's rolling one separate dice for John. John's down. John is down. That is significant. Now we got 7 dice onto the unit. No war cry. They're out of war cry range at the beginning. And what's going to be nasty now is does he have assault orders? You know, he did churn pretty hard. Does he have assault orders for a second round of attacks? Now the one thing that can kill Drogo is repeated attacks from sword bros. If these sword bros have Watcher, this could be bad news for Khal Drogo. Now, this is 8 dice hitting on 3s because of Blood of the Dragon. Ooh, not great. Only 6 hits. Peter still has 3 dice. He played Sword earlier. So he should see 6 saves on 5s and 1 precision. So one guy should be dead. So there should actually be 2 dead models, I imagine. The kill from John. Uh-oh. That was a great roll. Wow, that was insane. He only lost 2 guys. 2 guys in a panic test. That was minimal damage, all things considered. That was crazy. Okay, so it should be... Oh, saving on... Yes, so the Drogo kill, the precision, and the failed save is 3 dead. Yes, it says 3 dead. Okay, panic at even. Panic at even. And yeah, does he have a second Watcher? Doesn't have shield, apparently. Doesn't have shield. Panic is good. Do we see a second Watcher come out to throw these sword bros into Drogo's flank? Peter does not seem like it. I mean, Drogo's very exposed. This unit will get charged at least once by sword bros. So at this point, he should take the sword to make sure Drogo doesn't attack again. Oh, and he can actually use it with Jor and throw one of these cards onto these sword bros. Potentially, maybe the Watcher in the Wall, so they get extra movement to get past all this terrain. I mean, he can even throw Jor on now and maybe get a charge with Cold Hands into Drogo's flank. Like, there's nothing dangerous here, right? The dragon's frozen. This is Friedman. This is Jor with a pitiful handful of attacks. Yeah, that might be a really crazy play. If he throws Jor onto the sword and flips for the watch onto this unit to get a free charge, I think it's pretty far, but I would check. I wonder how far it is. It might be 10, might be 11. Yeah, I don't know. That was interesting. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if he flips for the watch into a flank charge. That would be pretty spicy. He would get then another attack with this unit, another attack with this unit, and then at least 1 attack on these guys. These guys can maneuver 5 and then charge into Drogo's flank. And they don't even care if the corpse fall because of their order martial training or martial prowess, whatever it's called. Martial training. Okay, so we are seeing it. Jor is going onto the sword. He's checking ranges. So this is 11. So this unit cannot... They can charge on a 6. And he's flipping over watch. He's going for the safe play. So he's taking an attack with the hunters. And he might retreat closer towards his army with his Swift Strike. So they still have sword up, so it's going to be 8 dice.
Yeah, and the eye sheet. Really?
The problem here is that no matter what damage they do, there's going to be a lot of healing. He's going to have the bag and Illyrio to deal with, and Tycho, of course. So yeah, I think Obyiscus has enough healing to survive the round, and then he's going first next round with the dragon unactivated. So let's see. Let us see. So Peter took the sword. Did he look for a card? Maybe he looked for a card. I don't think he looked for a card. 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he's going for the attack. Yeah, it's taking the attack, flipping over, and just letting himself retreat a bit closer. This is actually pretty clever, because after the retreat occurs, he can retreat onto the objective and pick it up as well. And that's going to drag Drogo deeper into enemy lines, which is pretty cool. I like this play from Peter. Alright. Again, the damage is kind of inconsequential because Obyiscus has so much healing. Yep, still has sword, still has 8 dice. And he's got this the healing objective, which is pretty cool. Is he throwing another sword? I think I saw another sword very briefly. Which wouldn't make sense because Drogo's activated. Like, you may want it on these sword throws just to push through more damage, the extra attack. But yeah, you don't want it on these hunters. Alright, we got 8 dice hitting on 3s. That was a good roll. 7 hits. Nice. 7 3-up saves. We expect 2 wounds. 3 wounds. Slightly above average. Pretty good. But again, nothing a bag can't heal. So, because of Blood of Dragon, Drogo only takes wounds if a 3 is rolled. He actually barely passes the panic, and he would have taken a wound. Now, to be super good on the measuring here, you should actually click the move button, and that will extend up the grid this way, and you can see if they were in or out or not. I think it was 6.1 based on his measuring, but it's so close it's worth just clicking the move button here, and that would definitely tell you if you were in range or not. So that was pretty darn close. Now, this unit should retreat, I imagine, onto this objective. Unless he wants to attack again. Unless he wants to attack again.
But yeah, this kid, like the eyes, the way, like your eyes.
But you know what, you can probably grab the objective, pivot, and then still take a shot with your attack instead. So, interesting, he doesn't seem like he's choosing to retreat. It looks like he's going to stay engaged with Drogo. And that does have value too, because it exposes Drogo's flank. So that does make sense, it does expose Drogo's flank. So I think at this point, Obyiscus should take the tactics board and just start healing Drogo up. He should probably put Tycho onto the bag, heal 3. Oh, nope, never mind. He is going for the retreat. Okay, he is going for the retreat. I would probably grab the objective. He's got a lot of movement to work with. He's got 10 at a minimum.
How do you feel like this is style? Like, do you feel like, oh, like that's my pick? No?
Alright, he's going 10 is here. So it looks like he's going the full amount. My concern by going the full 10, like he could have barely touched it and grabbed it, is that he may put himself out of shooting range. And I don't know if this is going to save him from getting charged by assault orders. It might, though. If he's 10 away, it might save him from getting charged. Okay, look like he's not going the full 10, and yeah, he's putting himself within 8 inches, so he can still take a shot. This is good. This is perfect. I like this a lot. Good positioning on Peter's part. So, again, the question is, does Drogo have assault orders? Does Drogo have assault orders to charge back in and heal some wounds? Drogo would heal at least 2 wounds if he has assault orders. So, let's see what happens. And, you know, Tycho is going down on the envelope. Is he digging for assault orders? He is! He's digging for assault orders. Oh, that is spooky. That is spooky. Which means Drogo will not be doing too much healing. He'll only get 1 zone to heal with. I presume Gilly will activate this round to even up the activation count. She should probably take the bag and heal off these 3 guys here. And let's see, Drogo will eat 1, 2, 3 attacks, presumably, from these units. He should probably survive. Barring some really, really bad dice, he should probably survive. He was going to eat a shot, a charge, and a charge. Now, all these are weakened too, so they might actually do not that much damage at all. Okay, so back to Peter. Peter should probably take the bag to heal his hunters. He doesn't want to leave two tactic zones open where Drogo can heal and maybe do an assault orders. I think he meant to do a war cry, so he's retroactively going back for a war cry. No big deal. He should be barely out of range of this corpse pile. Actually, the pivot may have gotten closer. He's looking at options. He's throwing it onto the sword bros, looks like. No, he's throwing it onto the hunters. Okay, cool. So Warcry is good. That is good. Okay. So yeah, throwing onto hunters. What does Peter do in response? Again, I think you should take the bag. If he doesn't, Khaleesi can take the bag, and then Illyria can heal. That's like Khaleesi that's the unburnt. Obyiscus is pointing at the terrain. Okay, looks like he's going in with cold hands. Yeah. Yeah, leaving the bag open seems like a mistake to me. Now, the reason why Peter may not be taking the bag first is maybe he's valuing Gilly later on as an activation. Maybe he doesn't see himself killing Drogo now, so he'd rather save the activation. So, Cold Hands is in. I'm sure that when Drogo attacked the hunters, the Cold Hands was probably out of range or Sentinel. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, this isn't going to be a particularly good attack. 7 attacks on 3s with the weakened token, nothing fancy. And he's making space to clear for the Sword Bros coming downfield. Sorry, I thought he was, but he didn't do that because he needs to take a shot and then let the Sword Bros attack. So he is playing his second sword. Very interesting. He puts it on this unit and not the Sword Bros back here. This attack is naked. This attack has Sundering. So I feel like he would want that extra attack on this Sundering. But we'll see. So 8 attacks on 3s now. Rerolling for the charge. That's a lot of 6s. Everything hit into the weakened token. Yeah, just reroll all of it. Might as well. And weaken. Not terrible. 6 hits. Not too bad. Saving on 3 up. Expecting to lose 2. And he loses 2. Alright, so Panic at +1 and -2 wounds because of Blood of the Dragon and Iron Resolve is a fail but 0 damage for many, many reasons. And that does not even matter. Okay, so that was interesting. I don't think Jorah can charge in. But again, the problem for me here is that he left all these healing zones open. And yeah, Khaleesi now can take the bag, and Illyria can heal. So like he's just gonna undo all the damage. I really feel like you could have done that charge anytime, and you should have activated Gilly to block the bag. Now, to be fair, even if you block the bag, you probably don't kill Drogo because there's a Tycho still, right? So I think Peter is just trying to save Gilly for a more important round. He accepts he can't kill Drogo now. The problem is the game just gets harder on round 3 when the dragon's mobile again. Okay, yeah, so Khaleesi, as expected, takes the... Oh, maybe not. Nope, we're seeing a card go down. Blood of the Dragon onto Freedmen, so you take less damage from Panic Test. Hilarious. Khaleesi goes down onto the bag. Do we see Assault Order? Did he draw it? He did not. He's going to heal instead. Okay, so now it's over to Peter. I imagine there's no point now taking the crown. He should save Gilly for later. I imagine we see a shift into a shot, followed by a... actually, he needs to Relentless now, I believe, right? If he leaves Relentless to the end, he won't be able to use it. So he needs a Relentless now, into a shot, into a charge. Relentless cannot be your last activation. Activation. Laser. Yeah, so he's doing the right sequence of events. Sword Bros coming up close. So they are, looks like, okay, they're easily in range because of watching the wall. He actually moves 6 here. He's going to get right behind those Vanguard. If Drogo Drusel orders tying up, Drogo stops the charge into John. John's already dead, but I guess you're right. It would stop the charge into the Hunters. And you know what? That's actually a very valid point, Gamma, because if Drogo, did a lot of damage to the Hunters, he would take the objective back, right? And at this point, Drogo doesn't mind grabbing the objective because everything's so tight and so engaged. His low movement wouldn't be a big hindrance. Yeah, so you're right. This is a good play. I guess he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait after Drogo drew so hard on the envelope. Yeah, and Obyiscus has gone through 9 cards. It would be unfortunate for him if he draw 1 assault orders by now. Oh, I forgot. It was actually very important that Obyiscus rolled a 1 for the D3 because there's intimidating presence here from Cold Hands. So the fact that the blood of the dragon token is up actually made a difference. The blood of the dragon token negated the +1 wound from Cold Hands here. So Peter is going to shift up 2. He's just going to take a shot. Ooh, he's being very careful to make sure. Ooh, I didn't even think about this. Can this tray still fit after the shot has been made? The answer is no. That is overlap. So he needs to back up a little bit. That's enough. And are they still in range? Probably. Oh yeah. Good. Okay, cool. And interesting, this panic test will be at -1 because of Cold Hands. So pretty cool. Is the train not locked? No, the train's locked. Okay. Okay, so they're missing a rank. Did they do some healing? I think this is fine, right? I think he only killed 3. Yes, he killed 3. So he's still at maximum shots, which is 7 in this case. There's no boldness and courage going on. So 7 shots hitting on 3s. Not so good. Looks like 4 hits. Personally, when I roll these dice and they fall out, I just keep them as is. So it should be 4 hits by my count. 4 hits. Saving on 3s. Maybe 1 fail. Oh, 2 fails. Nice. Okay, so now the panic is actually at even. Iron Resolve cancelled out by Intimidating Presence. So even on the panic, Obyiscus has rolled pretty badly for his panic test. Not this time though. Not today, Pig. Not today. All right. So over to Obyiscus. He's got healing off Illyrio. Yeah, the healing train does not end. So he just heals and weakens. They're re-weakened, I should say. And now we're down to. Wait a second. Hold up. Did he not maneuver this unit? I thought he maneuvered off his. I guess he changed his mind, right? But I'm pretty sure he can't. He can't do. Oh no, he's fine. He's fine, right? He's fine because Illyrio healed. Yes, he can now maneuver because he doesn't have an activation. Yes, he's good. He's good. I'm being silly. Yes, Relentless. Yes, this unit's not activated. He can still pop Relentless. I'm being dumb. Okay, so maneuvering 6 behind cold. So this is where Peter's actually worried. I'm sure he knows he probably can't kill Drogo, and Drogo will go first, and he'll probably kill the Watch Captain, which will put Peter down another activation, and the dragon will be back online, which is very, very scary. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah, and I don't know if I like putting sword. I mean, he's going to be able to flip it back and forth, but it would have been better, I think, to get the extra attack on the unit with Sundering. Okay, so let's see what Jorah does. Does Jorah say, peace out, I'm going to grab this objective? Looks like he does. So he's going 16, more than enough to grab the objective. This is the vulnerable objective. This healing objective is actually going to be quite relevant. Pretty cool. And we're going to see a charge. We're going to see a charge with the Sword Bros. Again, with martial training, they can ignore the penalty for the corpse pile. So he doesn't even need really to roll dice. I don't think there's a card he plays. There's no card that's going to deal extra damage. Both swords are played. He doesn't need a light. You might play light just to get out of your hand. So maybe the dice is actually relevant a little bit. And let's see the charge. Charging on the Sword Bros into Drogo. With the weakened token, they shouldn't do too much damage. Oh! Okay, the one didn't matter. Again, I forgot. The one doesn't actually matter because he will get rerolls through martial training anyway. And he's got a reroll for Watcher in the Wall. So he rerolled into a 3. He's good. And I wonder if it mattered. I wonder if he's got a card. Oh, see you later, Sword Bros. Okay, there they are. Does he have a card to play that's relevant? Probably not. Unless he has his second light. He discarded a light earlier, I believe. Yeah. Drogo's vulnerable. How did that happen? Oh, martial training. There. Okay, yeah. Martial training went up. So we have 8 dice hitting on 3s both ways for rerolls, charging and weakened penalty. Now, if Drogo doesn't shank that Watch Captain, it's very, very bad news because repeated Sword Bro attack can definitely crumble that unit. Okay, so everything hit on the first go. Weaken is going to reduce that to what? Big difference. Only 4 hits. Only 4 hits off the Weaken. Weaken doing work there. Okay, 4 saves on 4 plus 2 to Sundering. Oh, it's only 3. Brutal. Only 3. But they all failed at least. That's some solace. So Panic is at even due to Intimidating Presence. And that is a fail! And he's going to take 1 wound. He should take 1 wound from that. Iron Resolve, cancel by Intimidating Presence, and then -1 wound for Blood of the Dragon. That should be 1 wound. That should be 1 wound. Yeah. Should be 1 wound applied. Yep, there it is. Cool. Alright, so Obyiscus now has to remember that these freemen need to be within 6 inches of a friendly unit. I imagine they're just going to deke over near Jorah, unless he wants to go aggressive and actually maneuver into the flank of these Vanguard here. Yeah, he's going aggressive. This is not to be underestimated. Yes, they can die to 1 attack because, you know, if they take 3 or 4 wounds, the panic test could definitely kill them. But when they charge in, that gang up is really going to pump up Drogo's damage output. He'll get an extra dice and +1 to hit. It's a very big shift in the numbers. Okay, that's the end of round 1. So it looks like it's going to be 1-1 for objectives. Should be 2-1 for Obyiscus. And he's going to be able to do some healing on his rangers. And nothing should be range of Jorah. So round 3 promises to be very, very bloody start. Okay, so round 3 is upon us. And they're both pointing. I wonder if he's trying to say I'm going to attack that. Oh, maybe the dragon's going in? Ooh, that would be very nasty. Okay, we're discarding a card here. We're discarding Ride by Attack. So this is still kind of the cleanup of round 2. We're discarding. He's really digging for assault orders. He's getting rid of Unstoppable Advance. Very interesting that he had it. It means that he could have maybe gone in the middle. They each score 1 each. So yeah, he's digging. He's going to be drawing 2 more cards. Yeah, they've both gone through their decks very, very quickly. I don't see the heal from the Rangers going down yet. Oh, they did heal one. Never mind. They had lost 3, so that's good. And yeah, they've redrawn their hands. Obyiscus is down to his last 9 cards. Peter's down to his last 9 as well. Pretty impressive. And yeah, we'll see if. So the very interesting thing here is if you're super greedy, you're going to try and want to get an attack with the dragon twice through a charge and through unburnt. But it might be better just to go for the shank on the watch captain and just use the sword. So I would probably put Tycho onto the sword. Oh, he's playing a card. He's playing Adravat, but he's using it for the cycle. Very interesting. Adravat does increase his output, but it's a risk because if you don't kill the target in question, you lose a point. And that's a good play on Biscuit's part. Neither unit here is particularly weak, so it does make a lot of sense. Okay. So Tycho should probably go on the swords, and he should probably attack the watch captain. Alright, let's see what happens. This is a big roll, because immediately after this, if he fails to kill the watch captain should pop Relentless. And the watch captain's dead! That is big. That's another activation down for Peter, unfortunately. So now we have 8 dice hitting on 3s. He didn't pop Warcry. Oh, he can't pop Warcry. He played Adravat. He cycled Adravat, so he can't do Warcry. Okay, 8 dice on 3s. Okay, 5 hits. Into 5 4+ saves. Pretty good roll. So 3 guys dead total. And then a panic at -1. Oh, he's playing a shield for the reroll. It's going to make him quite tanky. So he only kills the 1 watch captain. So Drogo will heal a wound, which is nice, from Fuel by Slaughter. And there's still a panic test because he still killed the guy. So it's -1 for the corpse pile. And they fail. Does he have a fire? He does have fire. Okay, so fire that burns in the cold for the reroll. He should reroll all those dice that are all bad. Rerolling all the dice. Getting to a pass. This card's actually very interesting on this unit because it means that if they get low, War Cries will actually do nothing to them. Since he can take off the tokens for free if he's down to his last rank. Okay, so now it is Peter's turn, right? He can't really use the tactics board super good. He doesn't get a lot of value out of healing. But he still may want to take it if he wants to deny Drogo healing. It'll also let him swap the sword onto a relevant unit, such as Sword Bros. Yeah, this is a tough situation. I mean, the envelope always has some value, but I don't know what card he looks for at this point. You know, he's got all his good cards out already. He's got both swords, he's got shields, he's got For the Watch. Envelope doesn't have a ton of value as a result, I don't think. I would probably take the bag to deny the bag. And this is where we're seeing it's really tough to use Unburnt. She's only good if your dragon is engaged. And it's hard to be engaged without giving your opponent a chance to retreat also. Yeah, it's quite tough. So I think he's trying to see if he can get a shot into Drogo, maybe through a maneuver. Let's see what they do here. Okay, it should be Peter's go. What card can he be playing here? Oh, he's taking the horse. Okay, so he's taking the horse. And yeah, you know, um, so he's activating Sam to take the horse. Okay. He gets a shift now. Nothing. So the shift might help the Rangers get into a flank shot, but it will weaken them, unfortunately, which is the not great part. Yeah, he couldn't see them, and he's in the front anyway. He couldn't do a charge off for the watch. So he should probably shift 2 to the side, and another shift may get him into the flank, perhaps. Oh, it's a 3-inch shift. I forgot. It's a 3-inch shift. Yeah, 3-inch shift into the side here. This makes sense. It's a little risky because the dragon might be able to get into you. But at this point, I think the game is starting to slip away. He's lost 2 of his activations, his NCU and his watch captain. So he's going to slowly fall behind. He had a good start, but Drogo's just proving too hard to crack. With Illyrio, Tycho has not been popped yet. It's just a bit too hard to kill Drogo here. Okay, so I think that's it. Now, he could do a quick-fire shot if he's in range, but he should probably be out of range. If Drogo's out of range of him, he should probably be out of range of Drogo. That's not quite accurate, because we're in the middle, but more or less, he should be out of range. So it's back to... Wow, is Drogo at full health? Drogo's at full health. I could have swore he had lost a wound or something, but I guess he's at full health. And if he's at full health, that's really bad. You're really unlikely, super unlikely, to kill Drogo with the bag and Illyrio open at this point. So I think Peter is committing, and he's going to throw the dragon into the Sword Bros. I find that an interesting choice. It's cool because you're going to weaken the Sword Bros, so their attack is blunted, but it does kind of expose your dragon to this unit. Now, I guess they can't charge the dragon, and they only get a weakened shot, which is pretty safe. So yeah, this does make sense. He still has all the healing zones, Illyrio and Tycho open still, so this shot really shouldn't do too much. And yeah, the only unit he's worried about is the Sword Bros, really, so putting a weakened token on them is pretty important. And now that he out-activates Peter, he can also charge in the Freeman late and give Drogo some bonuses too. He's playing another card. Lots of Drogo cards. Adsrobats. This is going to be used for the cycle. Yep, he cycled really hard. He's gone through 13 cards. Wow. 13 cards versus 11. And he's changing his mind. Okay, interesting. I did like the Sword Bros move more, personally. But this is safer for the dragon. The dragon is unlikely to get killed by naked attacks. The charge is good, no disorderly. Rolling to hit. Is good. And then damage D3 plus 3. Oh, we got a max damage. So 6 wounds, and it's going to be panic at -3 due to Vicious and the corpse pile. So big panic test coming down onto these Ranger Vanguard. -3 is actually good odds to fail. Good odds to fail. Let's see what happens. And they do with max. Oh my gosh, this was the worst case scenario for Peter. He took 9 wounds from that. That was brutal. And here's the really scary part. He needs to actually retreat right now, because if he doesn't, Daenerys is going to come down and auto-kill this unit. So I don't know if Peter is aware. He needs to retreat right now, or Daenerys will kill this unit with a attack. He needs to activate and retreat. And that's really, really horrible. Nope, he's going for a heal. Okay, it might save him. It might save him, but because of the -3, it may not be enough. So he's going to swap a vow. He should swap the sword over, I imagine. Sword should go into the Sword Bros. Is he trying to see what cards they have? They have Fire, Watcher, Shield. None of these cards are actually useful. He's actually moving the sword from the Rangers, which makes sense. But again, this unit's about to die, so I don't know. I think they might still be dead. If he gets, he could still kill them with the D3 alone, and with the panic at -3, they are good odds to fail. And he is now applying. Okay, so I think when the dragon attacked, he actually weakened the sword bros anyway. I forgot that you can do it to anybody within 6. So this is the right play. This is the only dangerous unit. And now you can apply a weaken to these rangers as well. One dice. Oh my gosh, he's charging with the freedman? Why? Why not just attack with Daenerys? Am I crazy? That seems like a strange move. Why not attack with Daenerys? Is it because it's risky? You may not kill them? But you're giving him a chance to retreat. I feel like that's a mistake. So these freemen have 6 attacks hitting on 5s, but when they charge in, it's 7 dice hitting on 4s, which is hilarious. That's a lot of hits, and he's going to be saving on 6s. Oh my god, he got 6 hits, and they're saving on 6s. These hobos might just kill the Ranger Vanguard on their own. Oh, that would be so unglorious. 6 dice on 6s. We need to see 1 GOT, boys. Oh boy. Here we go. Looking for a 6. No 6s! Brutal! Wow, that actually makes Obyiscus play brilliant. He actually killed these hobos. Oh, it shall not end until my death. You know what? This might kill the hobos. Only because they might feel panic and this unit could still be alive. Okay, so... how many attacks do they have in melee? 4? 5. Okay, they actually might kill. They might kill because of the panic test. With Intimidating Presence, dealing an extra wound, they actually might kill this unit. This would be really important to have them survive. Okay, we got 5 dice hitting on 3s. Oh, 6 dice because of sword. Keeping the sword on now is going to look brilliant. And maybe that's what he was thinking. Maybe that's why he did that, is he had this card in hand. Okay, so 6 dice on 3s. Okay, so Peter, I take it back, that's pretty smart. 5 hits, pretty good. Saving on 6s, and then there's the panic test at an extra -1. It might be -2 for the corpse pile. So 5 dice on 6s. All fail. He's got a pack of past a panic. I think it's -2. I think it's -2. -2 would be a fail. -1 would have been a fail. No, -1 would have been a pass. Oh, this is tight. This is tight. If it's within 6, I think that's within 6. Yeah, that's within 6. They should be dead. They should be dead. And that's going to restore... Oh, no. Yes? Yes. Okay, so it's going to leave Cold Hands on 1 wound. Hilarious. So activation count is very close now. It's actually even... No, he's still down 1. He's still down 1 because he only has 2 NCUs. He's got 2.5, kind of, or maybe 2 1/3. So now it's Peter's turn, and I think he needs to retreat Cold Hands before Daenerys activates. It's Peter's turn now, and he needs to activate. He's doing Take the Black. Wow. Okay, he's actually going to heal a bunch, but it's cool and all, but it's not going to necessarily save him because the dragon. Unless he retreats, he has to retreat here. He has to retreat. So this is actually pretty hilarious. This unit is going to be almost healthy, right? They'll be at 5 wounds, which is really not that bad. And then he's splitting it up. Is he splitting it up? Oh, I don't think you can split it up. I think he's just putting it onto... Yeah, he's putting it onto the Sword Bros, realizing that this unit is pretty much dead. But they're not actually dead. They could retreat. I don't know why he doesn't retreat. If he retreats, they don't die from the dragon attack. Right now, he's just letting... I mean, he can still retreat. And, yeah. Yeah. He's doing the retreat. Good play. Good play. Good play. Which is why I think it's interesting he didn't heal this unit. Like, it's very precarious to be on one wound. Their leadership, despite being cold hands, is only 5 still, right? So, oh, okay, he's not. I think Obyiscus was trying to tell him to go to the flank, where he would get killed by the stakes, which is pretty funny. So he's going backwards. I mean, he does have plays to maybe track down Jorah, perhaps. But Jorah can also kill them on their last wound. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I wonder... Never mind. I was going to say, should there been another weakened token, but the dragon only attacked once. That was a very interesting turn of events there. And Peter played his whole hand. He'll be drawing 4 cards. He'll be down to his last 5. That is insane. These guys have just gone through so much of their deck. Okay, so that was his activation. Good play. Keeps the unit alive from Khaleesi. Drogo's at full health, so he has really no value with putting down Illyrio. I imagine you throw Khaleesi onto the envelope. Nope, he's just going for his straight-up attack. Okay, going for a straight-up attack. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, thank you, Jorg. Good point. I did not know it only uses infantry. Wow. Okay, learned something new. Thank you for the heads up. So, Peter, I take it back. You had to heal them. So yeah, I had no choice. I guess it makes sense. How would infantry become cavalry, I guess, right? I don't know. So I think it's a war cry from Drogo. So I believe that's a war cry into an attack. Drogo's already at full health, so Fuel by Slaughter won't do anything. I feel like that was a war cry that just went down. Yeah, he's not going to take wounds to remove it, because it'd be 4 wounds to remove it, which is pretty brutal. Would the vulnerable and the panic equal 4 wounds? Don't know. But 4 wounds is pretty hefty to take. Alright, here we go. 8 dice hitting on 3s. And 1 auto dead. But shield is up. We do have a shield to block at least 1 hit. And Peter has no hand. So that was a pretty great roll. 7 hits. No weakened tokens, so it should be 7 saves on 4s with a vulnerable. And shield will block 1. This could be a lot of damage. This could be a lot of damage. That's a really good roll, Drogo. Alright, 7 dice on 4s. Oh. Not a great start. Failed over half. And now re-rolling with a vulnerable most likely. Since he can always reapply more. Okay, so he blocked 2. He's going to eat 5 wounds total because of Expert Duelist. So should be 5 wounds total. Yep, and then a panic at -1. There is a panic token as well. This could be bad. Panic is a fail. No, I would just leave it. I would just leave it. So that's a lot of damage. 7 wounds. That's pretty good. That Corpse Pile's kicking in. Yeah. Okay, so over to Peter. Peter still has nothing unless he activates Gilly. I feel like he's saving Gilly for when he goes first. Sword Bros can attack back. But unfortunately, it's just a losing battle, right? Like you're fighting Drogo, who's at full health. You're losing attacks as your ranks go down. It's just not looking good. And Tycho has still been popped too, so it's looking pretty bad. Like Drogo is doing exactly what he wants to do. He's just grinding through a unit. He's healing up. So Peter will probably score more points. Like he'll be ahead. He'll probably be ahead 3-2, but he's going to run out of units eventually. Is the problem? He's probably going to get tabled. I think round 4 he loses these 2 units, and it's all about can the dragon and Drogo finish off the Rangers. You need some pretty epic attacks here. So he can do some cool stuff here. He can move to shift 2. It might get him in the flank. It probably will get him in the flank, to be honest. That's pretty cool. The scary thing, actually, for Peter is that if he does this, he will have to take a panic test on his own unit, and they are panicked and near a corpse pile. So this might come back to bite him, but honestly, he needs to do this because he's running out of options here. The 2-inch shift should bring him over. Yeah, that should be fine. Lots of Night's Watch stuff doesn't help cavalry stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think what helps cavalry. Like, I guess sword, I guess light, but I don't know if it helps them much more. The problem is, it doesn't. Their cavalry are light cavalry, right? They don't have a lot of punch. If they had lances and stuff, of course, a sword would be pretty nasty. But with naked attacks, the sword doesn't do a heck of a lot. All right, we're taking 7 shots into the flank, hitting on 3s, but there's a weakened token. Not a great start. Only 3 hits. The dice have really gone downhill. So 3 hits. He won't even use the weaken, I imagine. He's going to save it for when they actually hit well, I should say. So 3 saves on 4s onto Drogo, and Drogo can still heal Valyrio, which is pretty brutal. And yeah, there's no zone here. So I think the other cool thing that Peter might be trying to set up is a for the watch flank charge. He's just throwing the units into it, which is the best he can do. It takes 1 wound, panic at even because of Drogo, and they're good. Okay, so 1 wound only. He's going to heal it with Valyrio, I'm sure. He should probably draw more cards with Khaleesi and then heal with Valyrio. That looked like a panic test. Oh, he's vulnerabling. My bad. He had a vulnerable earlier from the Sword Bros, so he takes an extra wound. Okay, no problem. So yeah, Khaleesi onto the envelope. What's scary is if he draws into assault orders, he might just finish off this unit and heal that way anyway. He's just healing through killing guys. So Obyiscus has now drawn 15 cards. Surely he's drawn assault orders by now, right? Okay, we're over to Peter. Peter will probably just punch with the Sword Bros, do his best. They do drop off quite rapidly. They have, I think, 5 attacks now, so won't be too crippling, especially with that weaken token. Yeah, 15 cards deep. And to be fair, Peter will also be 15 cards deep at the start of turn 4. So it should be Peter's turn. He doesn't really have a lot of options. He may want to retreat if he thinks that Drogo drew assault orders. He should probably retreat. Oh, but you know what? Sorry, I'm being dumb. It doesn't save you because for Drogo it's a charge. Yeah, I forgot. I was going to say retreat to not get punched, but for Drogo, assault orders is a charge anyway. And there's no way you can pivot here to avoid getting hit. Like, you can try and shenanigan it to avoid getting charged, but there's no way to pivot and protect your front, I don't think. Like, it's almost possible. Almost possible. Retreat this way into a pivot almost protects your front. Okay, so the Sword Bros are going. They have 6 dice because of sword. I forgot about the sword. He's going to re-roll for martial training and apply a vulnerable token, which he did. We've got 5 hits into a weaken. 5 hits. Not too bad. 4 hits. 4 hits. 4 hits on 4s. Okay, interesting point here is, do you use the vulnerable or do you save it for the ranger hunter charge into the flank? He's making me use it now. Okay. Okay, snuck another wound through, 3 wounds, and panic at even. No, sorry, panic at +1. Panic at +1 for Drogo, and he passes. Okay, so now, did he draw assault orders? And if he did, I would just attack. I would just attack. Nope, he's healing instead. I mean, that could be the safe play. Maybe he doesn't even have it. Maybe he has it and says it's better to heal. And Peter's done, so we're just going to pretty much pass. Jorah, I imagine, is going to maybe move forward a little bit. He might just stay in the wood. Nope, looks like they're calling the end of the round here. Jorah does pass. They each score 1. And again, even though Peter's ahead for now, he's down to so few wounds that it's not looking good. This objective will heal 2 sword bros, which is pretty nice. And this is a vulnerable token, which doesn't do anything. Too far away by far. And now we're on to Peter. So Peter has the has first call here. So this unit is actually not terrible. They are weakened, but he could, for the watch, they still have it on them, take a sword from, let's say, the Ranger Vanguard, charge into the flank. I mean, I think that's the only path to victory, right? Just dogpile Drogo at this point. So Obyiscus did not draw more cards, and Peter just refilled. Okay, do we see a Jor onto the horse? In fact, I would probably put Jor in this case onto the sword, because you don't want Drogo getting a free swing as his next activation. So I would probably put Jor onto the sword. What's going on here? Folks, at 10, I've got to step away, but I'll be back. Sorry? 10:10. So soon. About 15-ish minutes. Okay, so George going on the swords. Good choice to block the enemy from taking the swords too. He's going to swap sword onto the Ranger Hunters into a flank charge from For the Watch. Pretty good. And we'll see. Now, there are 10 wounds here. It's not impossible to remove all 10. It's not likely. Now, I think both swords are out, right? Yeah, both swords are out. The other sword's underneath here. So he will not be able to apply any tokens onto Drogo, which is what you really want. But yeah, he could roll really good, and Obyiscus could roll really bad. It could happen. We're relying on a bit of a long bomb here, but there are weight of attacks too. There are weight of attacks, because after this charge into a shot, they have this attack here. They have their actual activation still. Like, it's a lot of dice. He could pull it off. Okay, let's see some godly rolls here. 10 wounds left on Drogo. 10 wounds left on Drogo. Okay, so we got 8 dice into the flank. Right? 7 plus Sword in the Darkness. Okay, 8 dice hitting on 3s. Eight dice on 3s. Okay, not too bad. Rerolling for the charge. And now weaken, I imagine. Okay, 7 hits, not too shabby. Good start. Weaken tokens being played. Alright, do we get a good follow-up? Pretty good follow-up. 6 hits, not bad at all. 6 hits into the flank is saving on 4s for Drogo. Let's see what happens here. Does he lose 3? He loses 3. 4! Oh, okay, good. Slightly in his favor. -1 for the panic. Is a pass. Takes 4 wounds. So there should be 6 wounds left. This is actually pretty close to being dead here. So we should see a retreat into a flank. Oh, we can see a retreat into a flank shot, into a rear shot. Oh, that's pretty tasty. Oh, a good hit roll might kill Drogo. Oh boy. Oh, cool. Okay. Man, this is pretty good. I like this shot. What do you think, folks? Could this be a dead Drogo? 6 wounds and -1 on the panic test. I mean, the problem is Blood the Dragon is going to negate quite a lot of panic damage, but this could be bad. A good hit roll here is saving on 5s. There's 6 wounds left. There's 7 shots. Okay, 7 shots, and he's saving on 5s. This is a big roll. This is a big roll. But you know what? Even if he doesn't kill Drogo, Drogo should be crippled, where a 3 wound heal will not save him. And wait a second. He popped... Oh, that's how Drogo healed earlier. Tycho has been played. I didn't realize that. Drogo had taken wounds, and then he was healed. I didn't know how he had healed. Now it makes sense. He actually had popped Tycho. So this is actually quite dangerous, because if he doesn't kill Drogo with this shot, Drogo will be on his last legs, where a 3 wound heal may not save him. And they will still get another shot on their activation. Ooh, this is very interesting. I think Peter might pull this back. He might just pull this back. It's still ugly, but he might pull this back. Okay, 7 shots on 3s. 7 shots on 3s. Tycho's been popped. I didn't realize Tycho was popped. That's a big difference. Okay. 7 dice on 3s. Explosive damage. Even without John, these hunters have been doing work. You know, it's funny. I wonder what's going to happen to hunters in the update. Crossbows, everyone knows. Oh my god. He got 7 out of 7 hits, and Drogo is saving on 5s. This could be dead. Oh, great roll on Drogo. He makes 5. Wow. Wow. That was big. -1 on the panic. You know what? That was justice. He passes the panic at -1. That was justice. Peter rolled really good, I gotta say. As much as I was kind of hoping for death there, it was justice to only take 2 wounds, I think. Okay, so Drogo is on his last 4 wounds, right? I wonder what you do. Looks like he's activating Rhaegal, and I think he's just going in. Okay, so he is... Interesting. He's going in to charge the Rangers. Wow. That is a little risky because... He's good. Because these sword bros are going to attack. Now, they're weakened. They are weakened, but, you know, 6 dice with the vulnerable token to deal 4 wounds is not crazy. Like, this is as good as it gets. This is as good as it gets. And they should shift over so that Cold Hands can try and jump in to do the last hit. Okay, so yeah, they're weakened. He should re-weaken these Rangers probably. And the scary thing is, I guess, yeah, this is actually very interesting. So if he attacks here, he's going to do a bunch of damage. The unit is still in combat, which means that Daenerys can get a second attack off, right? It becomes a very hard decision-making process. Do you go for the attack on Drogo, try and kill him, or do you retreat to not allow Daenerys? So the dragon hits, and looks like they did a massive 6 wounds. It's going to be a big panic test at -3. Flank and vicious. I don't know what you do here as Peter. Do you take your attack that's weakened, or do you retreat? If you don't retreat the unit, they are going to die for sure from the dragon. Oh man, this is a dilemma. Oh, it was so spicy. Peter had a really good chance there, but that crazy roll on Drogo. He rolled crazy too, to be fair. Panic at -3. They pass. Big pass. Oh, they're panicked. They're panicked. Rerolling the 6 and the D3 probably. -3 means he needs a roll of 5 on that 1 dice. And he didn't. But he only takes 1 wound, which is not too bad. Okay, so this is a pretty big problem for Peter. If you don't kill Drogo now, you'll never get a chance again. But if you kill Drogo, you lose your Rangers, because Daenerys will just kill them. If you retreat with the Rangers, if you attack and retreat with the Rangers, Daenerys probably takes the bag and starts healing Drogo. So it's a very... Ooh, Stand United Brothers. He's going to peel off wounds to heal wounds. I think he's going for the Drogo kill. I think he's going to take wounds off these hunters. He accepts that they're dead. He's going to bump himself up to maximum attacks and go for the Drogo kill. I think that's the best he can do. I think that's the best he can do. Nope. Never mind. He's going the other way. He's going to heal up the hunters. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting take. He's just going to say... Unless he hopes that these last attacks will kill Drogo. I think he's got 4 dice. He's got 4. 5 for the sword, but Drogo's got 4 wounds left. He needs to roll like a god. Right? Now this unit can survive a dragon attack? Ah, man, I don't know. I would have maybe done it the other way, personally. And then it's dragon versus these 2 units. I don't know. Okay, what just happened last? The dragon charged. He played Stand United Brothers, and now it's his turn to activate. I mean, maybe now's the turn that he says, I'll take the bag, and I'll use Gilly for something else. What does Peter do? I didn't think he'd heal that way. I thought he was going to heal the Sword Bros. But to be fair, now that I think about it more, this unit overall is more dangerous. He's going for rerolls. Now, I guess he's putting rerolls onto the Rangers as they attack Rhaegal. He might as well. He might as well. You don't need it on the Sword Bros because they have their martial training order. Where'd that light go? Where did that light go? I don't see where that light went. He pulled it out. I don't see where he put it down. There's 4 cards here, right? Get some full ranks. Yeah, there's a condition. I think only if he's engaged by more dudes. He may have read it and realized it wouldn't do much good here. Let's get an underdog Baratheon card. You use it when you're outnumbered. I don't think he played it. I think he kept it. Yeah, the one card he played was Stand United Brothers. Yeah, he played. He had 4 cards in hand. He played Stand United Brothers. He's going for the Drogo kill with his last 5 attacks. He's popping the order. He should be popping the order. Yeah, he probably popped the order. Drogo should be vulnerable. He did get 5 hits, okay? Drogo is on 4 wounds. If he rolls well here, he got exactly 4 hits. Okay, he could kill Drogo if everything fails. If everything fails with the vulnerable token, Drogo could die. In theory, he should lose 3 wounds, but a bad roll means he loses all 4. Okay, he's rolled average so far. Vulnerable token for the rerolls. Does he pass 1? He needs to fail both. Oh, he's alive with 1 wound. He's alive with 1. Okay, he could feel panic. He could roll bad. No, he rolled good. Okay, panic is passed. This unit is now activated. And he should have shifted. In my opinion, he should have shifted so that Cold Hands could make it in. I don't think Cold Hands can make it in anymore. In fact, if he shifted, I guess it doesn't matter. If Drogo kills this unit, Cold Hands can charge in anyway. But the problem is, Drogo, I believe, gets a 4 wound heal if he kills the unit also. Okay, Obyiscus is also measuring to make sure that the Sentinel order won't put him in Drogo's flank. Again, it wouldn't matter, I don't think. Because if the Sentinel brings him here, he can activate and attack here. What does Obyiscus do? Yeah, I feel like Peter should have shifted to the left to give Cold Hands the option. I don't think Cold Hands can right now charge into the flank. I think you take the bag, right? I think you put Tycho in the bag. Tycho in the bag, heal up Drogo. Deny your opponent the heal. He takes the horse. Interesting. He's going to retreat. Look at this stack of cards Obyiscus has gone through. He's down to his last four. Did he cycle out another card? Oh, he played Assault Orders. Never mind. He's not retreating. He's attacking with Assault Orders. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so one guy should be dead, and then we have four hits. Four hits should be two dead guys. Can these guys hold the line? Maybe they have a shield. That would be pretty big. They die unless he has his second shield. Oh! Oh! It shall not end! Oh! He might kill Drogo! This is crazy! I did not see this play coming. This is such cool sequence of events from Peter here. This is brilliant. He was baiting Drogo to kill him. Wow! Okay. He's got to deal one wound with it. Shall not end. 5 days on threes. 4 saves on Drogo. Drogo should be dead here. Drogo should be dead. Now, when does Drogo heal Fueled by Slaughter? After this unit completes a melee attack. This attack has not been completed, I imagine. Ooh, this is a good question. I don't actually know how this works. So Fueled by Slaughter says when the unit completes a melee attack. I guess the panic... Okay, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. So what I'm thinking is, Drogo attacks, kills the unit. Drogo's dead. They would be destroyed. No panic test yet. They play It Shall Not End, kill Drogo. Now they have to make a panic test. If they fail, they might be dead. But Drogo's no longer around to heal. And he took the black. Oh my god. Wow, what a turn around. Peter with the combos. Wow, wow, wow. What a crazy game. That is huge. Wow. This has been a crazy turn of events here for Peter. Big props. He does owe Drogo a panic test, I believe. Right? He did die to the attacks. I'm pretty sure they are owed a panic test. But now it's 3 units to gang up on this one dragon. And Obyiscus is first next. So this unit will retreat one way or the other, right? They're going to attack, retreat. The dragon is kind of clumsy at this point. It can only charge. It doesn't really get a lot of free attacks, and anytime it would charge, the unit it's touching can retreat, so Daenerys does not suffer. And the activation advantage now is, I believe, back in Peter's favor, right? He's got 3, 4, 5 versus... Well, it's 5 on 5 for now. It's 5 on 5 for now. Okay. So Sword Bros are coming closer. Wow. I think they forgot the panic test, but it's not a big deal because even if they fail, they don't die. Holy cow. Peter's going to draw 3 cards. He's going to be down to his last 2 cards. It's at a point where you can actually literally calculate what cards are left in your opponent's hand, pretty much, because they have so few cards left. That was insane. Oh man, that was so crazy. I gotta give Peter a lot of respect. That was some crazy combos he's been pulling off to make some magic happen here. I think he was ahead. Okay, so I gotta jump out, unfortunately, folks. I will be back. I'm gonna give you a top-down view, and I'll be back soon. Okay, I am back. Let's check out the game. What has happened? The chat seems concerned. Oh, dear God. So the everything's dead. Everything's dead except for these hunters, and the dragon is unharmed. Holy crap! And it's 5-5. So I'm presuming the dragon charged in and killed Coalhands. How did the overrun? There was probably an overrun involved, wasn't there? Okay, let's read the chat here. So many cards. Didn't they take one from there? No, I don't think so. No, they didn't overrun. This is going downhill. God, Vanguard. Oh, yeah, overrun did it. Yep. Welcome to the slaughter. Yeah, sounds like an overrun netted 2 kills. And now it's pretty bad, right? With this weakened token. And this is where Rhaegal really shines. Rhaegal will not take a lot of damage because of the weakened token he's applying down, and with the heals from Illyrio. So it's a tied game. The dragon is not yet activated, and neither have the hunters. So the NCU board got filled out first, so Jorah is activated. So now the hunters will only get to attack the dragon once with a weakened token on. Now they have For the Watch, Sword, and Light. Super close game. 5-5. If it comes down to a tie, which it might, a game should not be a tie. Because either these hunters die, or as the last activation, this dragon can swoop onto the middle objective. It doesn't care about the stakes when it's last turn. So I think Obyiscus has got this wrapped up. Yeah, so he's going to eat 7 shots here. Okay, you know what? I say this. Hold on. Obyiscus went first, so Peter is first next. But the dragon hasn't activated yet. That's the problem. The dragon has not yet activated. I was going to say that a shot into a For the Watch charge into another shot could kill the dragon, but the dragon will not be here. Right? Now, I imagine what Obyiscus is going to do is he shouldn't even attack these hunters. He should just retreat down here. The hunters can't catch him, and then he should fly into the objective as his last play. I think that's how he guarantees the game. Yeah. So the wrong play, I think, for Obyiscus would be to attack those hunters. He should just retreat and then grab this objective as his last play. Okay, we got 3 hits. Not good enough. Oh, sorry, I guess that was with the weakened. So 3 saves on 4s. Doesn't even really matter. Dragon only fails 1. He's totally fine. The dragon should just retreat. Should not charge. The dragon should just retreat. Come down here. Should go 18. Just 18 down here. The hunters with their objective token cannot catch. Oh my gosh, I think Obyiscus is actually going for a charge. Now, hold on. If he charges... I guess he can't get a For the Watch combo, right? He should charge in. He'll do a bunch of damage. He'll apply a weakened token. I mean, at the end of the day, that's also going to work. That's also going to work. To be fair, it's also the more bloodthirsty fun route, I suppose. But yeah, he could also guarantee the win by just running down this way and grabbing the middle. So he's in. Let's see if these guys can continue their panic. He hits. Obyiscus is down to his last 2. Oh, and Peter's on his whole deck. Wow. They passed the panic. Wait, was that a panic test? Oh, that was the weakened token. Sorry, that was the panic. That was the weakened token. He's dealing 5 wounds, which brings him down to his last rank. And then we've got a panic at minus... Now, you know what? Do they have fire on them? They don't have fire on them. They fail their panic and eat 3 more wounds. They're down to their last guy. So that's pretty much game. Right? There's no healing that's going to save you. And an attack from the dragon just kills you. So that should be game. He stole the objective too. Yes, that's right. He also steals the objective. So it's 7-5, and he's going to table at this point. So Peter can go for one last valiant attack on this dragon. I was going to say, when does this weaken token get applied? But it doesn't matter because he doesn't have fire on him. Aha, so Obyiscus discards his cards. He's going to draw his last couple of cards. So, you know what? They both went through their entire hands. And Peter is now showing his hand. He knows the game is over. He knows that he can't kill the dragon with the weaken token. And he just, yeah, he's for the watch, stand united. These cards do nothing. These cards literally do nothing. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that is fair. He says, like, Mike, the goggles, they do nothing. Now, the ranger has 4 attacks. He does have sword. In theory, he could kill the dragon. If he rolls perfect, he could kill the dragon. Right? He's got 9 dice, 8 wounds. Actually, should the dragon be wounded? Didn't the dragon fail a save? Wow. Ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, you know, it's tough to say these things, but like Peter, I guess, should know that at that point, Obyiscus must have overrun, right? You can see his discard. You can see that overrun hadn't been discarded early, but you know, I'm not sure if that charge from Cold Hands would have killed the dragon. Okay, can he roll perfect? Okay, he's got enough damage still, in theory. If he fails all 4 saves here, he could kill the dragon. Oh, weaken token. Okay, never mind. GG. 3 hits, cannot kill the dragon anymore. Takes 2, and this is just a formality now. You can take a shot. I want to ask, where did Peter play his second and now his watch has ended? He used one early to get hunters into the flank. Does anyone know where he played his second and now his watch has ended? Now, is it maybe in his discard? Oh, he's got a whole stack there. Yeah. I mean, it's irrelevant now. I'm just curious if he used it, because that is a pretty darn good card. He's going to retreat, and the last Ranger Hunter, after taking his last arrow shots, will die a glorious death. If you're going to go out, at least you got killed by a dragon. If you're going to go out, at least it was because of a dragon. Okay, last 4 shots. Can he bring the dragon down to half health? Ugh, 2 hits. 2 hits. And 1 more wound on the dragon. Can't fail panic to the leadership 2. And the dragon charges in, and it's GG, no re. And we'll have a chat with the gentleman. So I'm just gonna, as a ceremony, as they go through the ceremony of the last wound, I'm just going to load up Discord on my iPad. So what were the last cards he had here? He had another superposition and another unstoppable advance, I guess? I don't know. Oh, he rolled a 1. Can he roll Snake Eyes? Will he roll Snake Eyes and miss these guys? I don't know what that is. That might have been him rolling his attack dice 1 at a time, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, doesn't really matter. Okay, so they're done. Score will be 8-5. Standard win for Obyiscus. Let me jump into the chat. Let me mute myself here. I'll be right back.
I could attack you 3 times that turn.
Okay, so we are with Obyiscus and Peter, and yeah, they totally caught me. They said, sorry for the boring game, and I was like, what? That was like the most back and forth game I've seen in a long time. It was crazy, where like, so like the explosive moments where Peter charged over the corpse pile, killed the Outriders in one go, and then Drogo comes over, and let me try to remember here what the sequence of events was. Drogo comes over and shanks John.
Yep.
Right, and then
they attacked and retreated.
Right, and then you froze Rhaegal, and then you just really couldn't do a lot of damage to Drogo at the time. Yeah, but you know what? Let's hear your thoughts. So let's start with Peter. Tell us about the game. What were the crazy highlights for you?
All of it. There were so many highlights, but the Blood Riders. I can't break Blood Riders. They take an insane amount of hits.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that's what seemed to happen is that the Blood Riders were able to tie up your Rangers and the Sword Bros, and between Fueled by Slaughter and Illyrio and Tycho, it's really hard for naked attacks to crack through them.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was Qhorin, whether he froze Rhaegal or Blood Riders. And I actually think I should have froze Blood Riders. Like, I think they would have had a better time killing Rhaegal.
Yeah.
And then dealing with Blood Riders all by themselves later.
Yeah, I can see that. The Blood Riders have 12 wounds with a better save. Right, Rhaegal is dangerous but squishier, so that does make sense.
I agree. Although, if Drogo had failed his 4-inch charge there, then you would have been, it would be a completely different story, right? Because then Rhaegal would have been frozen, Drogo would have been stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Also, my list, like the Cold Hands and Vanguard has been disappointing. It's been, I feel like, not a strong 8 points.
Yeah, he kept being just out of 12 of the thing that I was attacking.
Yeah. And at 8 points, like that would be another unit of hunters with a point. Like,
right.
Which would have so much more output.
Yeah, my Night's Watch buddy has kind of made the same comment about Ranger Vanguards in that, they're paying points for rules that are sometimes hard to put into play. Like, Outflank is hard to use. It's not always easy to ambush. So, like, you're paying a premium for abilities that don't always kick in.
Yep. So, in fact, that whole unit, all of its abilities were not used whatsoever this game.
Right.
Intimidating Presence. Once. It did 1 wound to Drogo.
Yeah.
After he had charged up and you needed, he was taking a -2 wounds from Panic.
But now his watches ended, triggering and being successful twice was amazing.
That was...
Yes! Oh my gosh.
That second one was rough. The first one I was
favorite moment. Oh my gosh. So I was a little confused when you played Stand United Brothers to remove wounds from the Sword Bros onto the Rangers. I thought you were going to do the other way around. But then it all made sense when you did your attack, did a bunch of wounds, and then when Drogo killed you, you played your second one and killed Drogo in return. That was an epic sequence of events there. That was awesome.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a misunderstanding on that one, but...
Yeah, so I was looking to end up playing that card, but I wanted as well to be at max ranks, thinking that playing light, but I forgot again, cavalry, that 1 rank and 1 rank doesn't really get me the max ranks with Light in the Darkness.
Right. Yes, that's right. And then I stepped away, and when I came back, so I was like, oh my gosh, Peter pulled himself back in the game. He's got 3 units versus a dragon. And I stepped away, and I came back, and it was just down to the Ranger Hunters. Apparently, I missed an epic overrun from Rhaegal.
Yeah. So the Vanguard charged into Rhaegal. He got down to what, like 1 wound or something?
No.
Yeah, he got, because between them and something else, he'd gotten down really low. No, sorry, he didn't get down to 1 there. He got weakened here there. And then at the beginning of that charge, he played watch, and was it? What's the one that lets you attack when something dies?
Now
Now's Watch has ended.
On the Rangers. So when the Unburnt activated and killed the Vanguard, he got shot in the side by the Rangers, and I think he was down to like 1 wound. Which I had to go for it. Which then let him overrun into the Sword Brothers. He left them with 1 wound, but then they failed panic, which then let him surge into out of line of sight of the Rangers for the next turn. I don't know when you came back, but then there was a turn that was kind of a wasted turn, where Rhaegal just decided to stay there and wait out the turn, as he didn't want to charge in and get double attacked by the Rangers.
Right.
The Rangers tried to take the horse to move, and then
Really good field control play.
I field controlled, so they ended up just staying in place. Yeah. No, it was. I got lucky a couple times that brought it back after some poor maneuvering, and then forgetting that John card that ended up working really well for it.
Right. Oh my gosh. To be honest, I feel the same way. I when I look at John, I go, the card to look out for is For the Watch and Stand United. I never think about And Now Is What, or It Shall Not Until My Death. But yeah, Peter played 2 clutch ones to kill the Freedman, come back to life, and then kill Drogo and heal up as well. And I think you would take the black each time, right?
Yeah.
Man, that was crazy. I want to say too, the movement in the game was actually very, very interesting. I thought you guys deployed and then reacted to each other very, very well. So, John deployed on the left. Both players knew to not grab the objectives, and you did this kind of yin-yang thing where John pushed forward and Drogo came back around. It was very cool to see how you guys kind of didn't really grab the objectives right away because you knew that it would slow you down too much and you need to be aggressive.
Yeah, I was lucky. Jorah turn 2 was just I need to try and keep points going. Jorah, your job is to stand over there and hope he doesn't crown zap you to death.
Yeah.
It's funny, both times that he played the John come back from the dead card, both times I was upset with myself because I had been greedy, because the first one, the Freedmen were not supposed to kill him. They were supposed to just weaken him, because I had an overrun in my hand, and Rhaegal was set up to finish them and then overrun into the flank of the Sword Brothers.
Right.
And then the one with Drogo, I should have healed, probably. I should have healed with Illyrio to give him a weaken. But again, he had the second overrun there and was going to kill them and overrun into the Vanguard. So both times it was I have my trap card, and then you have your trap card to my trap card.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That was so funny. That was an excellent game to watch, guys. Thank you for playing in this event. I'm going to probably make an announcement on our Discord, but I'm hoping to organize a bigger event in Ottawa in August. I've been talking with the organizers from the Capital City Bloodbath, and they said they've got space. There's not a lot of firm details yet in terms of date and ticket prices and that kind of stuff. So once I find out more, I'll be sure to share that as well. But we're hoping to run a second Great Canadian Open in August.
And I might actually be able to be there.
Excellent.
Around August.
Depending on when, it might be my birthday, so I should be able to get away for that.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks so much for playing, gentlemen. We'll see how the final standings shake out. Tomorrow night is actually going to be the top table between Gamma, representing the GOT boys versus Tango.
Yes.
So be sure to stay tuned and watch that game as well.
For sure.
All right, folks. Thanks for playing. Oh, sorry.
Yep. I was just going to say, go Game of Thrones boys. All right,
That's right.
GOT boys.
Yeah, that's
Gamma's
right.
got this.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much for playing. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye. All right. All right, folks, thanks for watching. And yes, Jor, you're correct. That is a crushing win because of the tabling. I forgot. The points difference doesn't matter. So great. Like I said, folks, we should have a game tomorrow if you're watching for between Thranduil and Gamma. And they'll be probably at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep a lookout for that. Thank you for watching, folks. See you around. Bye-bye.